Okay, let's see.
Okay, thank you very much for bearing with us. We have one more presentation before lunch. I think we will skip the introduction to the afternoon session and installations, maybe do that a little later on, just to give Tim and Annie the time that they need. But yeah, Tim Söderström and Anny Wang, please take the floor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, so thank you very much for that we can also be part of this. It's an honor. Yeah, so me and Anny, we have an exhibition going on here at Röska on the second level. As Ray said, my name is Tim Söderström and this is
Anny Wang.
And together we form the design and art duo Wang and Söderström.
We are both from Sweden, but we are based in Copenhagen. And our exhibition is called Vassa spröt, mjuka antenner. And in English title is Sharp Feelers, Soft Antennas. And we're gonna talk a bit more about the exhibition and deep dive in some of the work.
Yes.
But first, a bit about our background. We are both trained as architecture and interior architects from start, but we today work transdisciplinary, and our work can result in anything from sculptures, visual imagery, installations, and we often works in different mediums. In the last couple of years, we've been occupied in investigating the relationship between technology, ecology, materials, and our senses. And in our practice, we try to find the potential of digital tools in the recent years, and we explore what it means for our senses in an era where the digital permeates all the aspects of our lives today. We try to see the digital and the physical as equal, nature and technology as part of the same ecosystem. And we wish to throw out pre-existing conventions regarding the digital and activate a digital sensuality to give the digital a more human, relatable quality. We want to challenge what the digital can be associated with. How can digital experience help enhance the rich physical world instead of pushing us away from it? How can we talk about digital and technology as an extension to physical instead of something as a replacement? People usually refer our work with something close to visual ASMR, that people can almost taste or feel what it feels like when they look at our work. And as you all know, the senses never work individually, they constantly collaborate. And a digital picture is only as rich as our previous multisensory experiences in the physical world.
Yes, so there are clear indications that the hand is occupying less space in our brains. I'm sure this is not news for you, but usually we talk with not as updated people. But this, for example, this surgeon in Lund, Göran Lundberg, who is a professor and former hand surgeon in Lund University. He has books about this. And he says that there is clear indications that the hand is taking up less space in the brain because of less fine motor work with the hands, and basically the textureless phones we're using, the minimal design that takes the hands further and further away from rich stimuli. And if future generations will live a less tactile and sensory-rich life, how will their relation be to the digital? Digital technology is here to stay, so how can we ensure how can we ensure to bring haptic and tactile features into the future? How can the objects and spaces surrounding us stimulate our senses? These questions, and also what Anny mentioned earlier, starting to take much more space in our practice a few years ago. and maybe also because we became parents and started to think about the future in a different way. So we're going to jump to the exhibition at the second floor here at Röhsska. That's called Vassa spröt, mjuka antenner, or sharp feelers, soft antennas. And it reflects upon how we relate to each other and coexist in spaces that are simultaneously physical and digital. How can new technologies broaden our narrow view of perception, and can we discover new ways of sensing? It is through our senses that we understand the world around us, so we need to sharpen them.
And the exhibition show works from the last 5 years of our practice. And as I mentioned, we were quite broad with sculptures, video, interactive installations. We work with different mediums such as digital sculpting, animation, 3D printing, textiles, and installation formats. By highlighting different forms of intelligences such as plant, animal, human, and artificial, we seek to broaden the view of design and technology and craft. And the exhibition explores how we can soften the technological realities and sharpen our senses. We have worked with sound and scents and visual material, and we also have had the opportunity to activate the sense of taste together with the food artist Josefin Vargö. We had a special event early in May, and luckily we have the opportunity to experience it again, because she will join us this afternoon with this tasting experience. The exhibition is shown in 3 different rooms, with each of them has different themes. In addition to a rework of a work we earlier made in 2023 that now takes form of an immersive installation, we also made 2 completely new works that was commissioned to Röhsska, a commission from Röhsska, and then they included it in the collection, which is a textile tapestry and a folding screen. And both of them draw inspiration from Röhsska's collection. And the exhibition is shown between 2 permanent exhibitions called 18th Century's Design and the Baroque Chamber. So we thought it was fittingly to find inspiration from that era, just before the Industrial Revolution really took off.
So we're gonna step into the left gallery. It's called, or it has the theme of digital sensuousness. And it shows a reflection of the domination of screens in our lives today, and what that means. And so on the walls around there are screens showing this visual ASMR work that me and Anny have been producing, especially in the start of our studio. So that's one kind of screen. And in here, it's also a scent of a metallic, with a metallic note. Kind of connecting the technical hardware screens with our bodies and our blood. And in the middle of this room, there's another kind of screen. So it's this room divider, and this work is called 5+ senses, or 5+ sinnen. And it consists of 6 panels featuring interpretations of objects from the Röhsska Museum's collection from the 18th century, as mentioned. And the first 5 panels, they represent the 5 most talked about human senses. And in the final panel, we playfully explore a 6th undiscovered sense. So when we created this, we went into the archives of Röhsska, especially looking for objects and things connecting to the smelling or tasting or touching. And that could it showed a rich world from this time when those senses were much more activated, I think. And also having an 18th century person it would be amazing or interesting to have them look at our digital visual work, because they were especially skilled with their smelling and touching when they were trading different things from around the world. So they're like, their mind was probably very rich and stimulated in that way. But this work also has a digital layer, so some of these things can also be activated with an augmented reality layer. Yeah. And we think it's this tech. I guess it's not new, but it's definitely a threshold, taking up your phone and all this. But at least now you don't need to have an app. You can go directly through a camera, and you get a link to a website, and it kind of takes you there. But we believe that this tech is, because it has so much potential, and it probably will, play another role in our lives in the future. So we think it's important to like play around with it and see what you can do with it.
And in the middle gallery, titled Planetary Intelligences, show this infinite amounts how we are all connected in different systems and network, and we are constant in communication with each other. So here we try to highlight that there are different ways of sensing. Our satellites is one kind of sensor sensing, and the animals and the ants or insects or whatever species have different ways of sensing. And that nature, that the technology is now part of our life and the infrastructure so much, so it's kind of weird to differentiate it from the nature we have, because it's already part of the same ecosystem. And the first time we worked with textile, this is the result of that, which is a jacquard weave called känselspröt, feelers, if you try to translate it. And it is a digitally woven jacquard technique tapestry with hand-embroidered details that shows this imaginary landscape filled with sensory organs from various species, as well as satellite, radio antennas, again, to celebrate the different ways of sensing of plant, human, animal, and the artificial way. Because the human way is only one way to sense the world. We also particularly wanted to use the jacquard weave because of how it's usually connected to being the first ancestors to our contemporary computer, using these punch cards. And as I mentioned, we did some hand embroidery details on this piece, focusing on that we live in a time where the digital and technology is usually referred to efficiency, and that we should speed up, and it could be really something extraordinary in that way. But how can we find ways to coexist with the analog, and that maybe sometimes it's good that things takes time. So for instance, hand embroidery takes huge amount of time compared to doing a digital weave. So it kind of manifests this, that both ways are probably the best way, not the only one.
They can coexist, and it can happen at the same together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, fine motor skills, use the hands. It will activate your brain in a totally different way than using it. And it's really hard to capture all the details in photos, so you're all gonna see this exhibition later, so you can see all the different details on this. It's 3.5 meters long.
And entering the last room, the gallery to the right, which is called Feeding Data or Metadata. And in today's digital landscape, it's the tech giants basically that has the power over our social media and prolong of that our personal data. So our daily lives and experience are shaped by this control, often without us realizing how much. So in this third room, we ask, what information are you being fed? Which digital platforms shape your perception of reality? And it's an immersive installation that's called the Liminal Eatery. And it has 2 walls with interactive digital avatars that walks around and evolves the dinner table. And the dinner table for us symbolizes a place for a human encounter where all our senses are stimulated. It's like one of these multisensory experiences that's still with us, that hasn't been digitized yet. But at the same time, we really try to make it as digital as possible by 3D printing everything on the table, but still making it useful. So the cutlery is 3D printed in metal and plates in ceramics and so on. Similarly, the table has comes from a digital modular way and can be longer or shorter depending on different modules that you can 3D print. And we like to use this like a playful approach to shape and language about technology, because we kind of want to play with what technology can look like, what the digital can look like, because it tends to go, for obvious reasons, the efficient way, because it suddenly can make us much more efficient, or it can make things stronger in that way or whatever, but it can do much more that's also closer to maybe our human relatable things, and maybe closer to our senses as well. Can look in different ways, not only affected by efficiency and the sort. So we kind of like to think of our works and our aesthetics as small portals, maybe, for imagination. Because how we think about technology is, it kind of shape how we're going to build it in the next step and how we use it. And so, yeah, the digital figures or the avatars that walks around this table, they can be experienced in different ways. Some people feels that they are getting surveyed on, or that they are surveying them, or surveilling them. Are they servants of these big companies, or are they a helpful thing? Someone that wants to help or play with you, basically.
Yeah. In our Western world, the left hemisphere is usually considered overworked. We have meetings online, we constantly checking our social medias, we analyze, troubleshoot, fixing things. While the right hemisphere of our brain, where our imagination lives, needs more time to play. And we have to believe that different worlds are possible. And if we stop, then big tech have taken over our imagination too. So with this work, we try to have this invitation for imagination. Perhaps it's around the dinner table where we all should take a seat at the table, meet, where all our senses are activated. And through play and interaction, imagine alternative technological futures. And as I mentioned, you all can look forward to this afternoon, where food artist and designer, curator, Josefin Varje will return to create this tasting experience, where she have interpret specifically this installation, the Liminal Eatery, where she will have some edibles.
Yeah, she activates the taste sense there. Yes.
Thank you all for listening. I'll be here in the afternoon somehow, and you'll be seeing this exhibition on level 2 later.
Yeah, and we also did a little collaborative thing with Ray, haptic little sculpture thing that's also gonna be up there. So.
Yeah, outside exhibition later on.
Yeah. Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you, Anny and Tim.